Hi, I'm going to show you how to make this crochet bumblebee, and I used a J hook, and I would keep it right around a J or a K. I wouldn't go too much smaller than that because this yarn is thick. This is Loop and Threads yarn Sweet Snuggles, and it's 2.50 grams, 8.8 ounces. The pattern is down below. Every round that you do, I recommend you use a stitch marker, or it's going to be hard to follow along with this pattern because the thickness of the yarn. You can always use different types of yarn. It doesn't have to be this plush one if you don't want to use that. I used two eyes that I got on Amazon, a box of eyes, but they didn't come with backings. So I'm going to try and look for a link for that with backs to them. I had to tape them in the inside because they were not staying in place. And then the little smile, I just use medium worsted yarn for that. Okay, so let's get started. This Sweet Snuggles yarn is what I bought at Michael's. I bought white, black, and yellow. Okay, you're going to work the magic circle. If this is your first time, I have a link for that down below. Slip stitch into it, work your chain one, and then work 6 single crochet around. I don't usually work with this type of yarn, so it can be a little challenging to work with. So yarn over, pull through 2 loops for a single crochet, and then make sure you have 6 in total, and so it will be worked as an increase after this will be 6 plus 6 will be 12 once you get to this second round. Pull the magic circle close and slip stitch in that first stitch. I'm going to use my tail for a stitch marker, or you can use your stitch marker if you like. You definitely want to keep track of rounds. It's hard to see the stitches when you work with this type of yarn. Each stitch will get 2 single crochet in each stitch around for a total of 12. Okay, slip stitch, and then in the next stitch you'll work 1 single crochet and then 2 single crochet for an increase. So work 1 and then you'll work 2 in the next, so you'll increase by 6 every single time. So now we're going on 18 stitches, so make sure you count. You have 12 stitches you're working into, so make sure you work into those 12 stitches and you don't lose track. So it's 1, 2, and then 1, 2. The 2 is the increase. If this is too fast, you can place your video in slow motion. There is a link down below on how to do that. Now you're going to slip stitch, and this time you're going to work 1 stitch in the next 2 stitches. So 1 single crochet, and then the next one will be 1 single crochet, and then in the next it will be an increase, which is 2 single crochet. So it's going to be 1, 1, and then 2. You can stop here if you want your bee to be smaller, but if you want to keep making it bigger, you can follow along with the size that I made. So it's going to be 1, 1, and then 2 increase. And if you want yours bigger than mine, I stopped at an increase of 36 stitches. You can always go bigger and just keep adding one more stitch. Okay, you're going to slip stitch, and this is another increased round. This is going to be the front of the bee's face, and you're going to work one single crochet in the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, and then 3, and then 2 increase in the next. So 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches, and then 2 increase. Okay, so it's going to look like this. Now you're going to work a slip stitch, and then this is the last increase round that I used. However, if you want your bee to be bigger, you can keep increasing. So you're going to work 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches. Okay, so now here you're going to add an increase, so it's going to be 1 in the next 4 stitches, and then an increase for this round. Just repeat that around. This is the last time I'm going to increase here. Then you're going to slip stitch, and then I worked 1 single crochet in each stitch around, and I did that for 3 rounds. So for 3 rounds, work 1 single crochet, no more increases. Now slip stitch in the next stitch before you change your color. Okay, I'm about to do a quick edit here. So the next part is going to be a better way on how to keep your stripes straight with a slip stitch, and then after that it will be the way that that is probably not going to keep your stripes straight. So watch this part here, and then the next part I did it the other way, which it didn't keep my stripes exactly straight onto the bee. And if you have a better way, you can do it your way too. Okay, so this is the way that I use to keep the stripes a lot straighter instead of seeing like a zigzag because you're color changing. As I slipped it through, and then instead of going right into a single crochet, I went into a slip stitch to keep it more combined, and then I worked a single crochet. Then I worked all my single crochets around. So when you get to the part where I'm going to have a color change, it won't be done this way, it will be done the other way that I think didn't keep the stripes straight. So then I'm going to go into the first single crochet and then slip stitch and then continue on with my single crochet. So I think if you do this slip stitch, it will help after you pull your yarn through for the color change. Once you change your color, I know there's different ways to color change. This is how I like to do it. I like to just pull it through. And then once I pull it through, just work it like normal. So for 2 rounds, I'm going to work a single crochet and make sure you slip stitch at the end so it keeps it straight. If you don't do that, it will be all over the place. Okay, so it looks like that. You're going to slip stitch and work another single crochet round of black. Slip stitch with your black, add yellow, and you're going to work 2 rounds of yellow single crochet, and make sure you slip stitch at the end of each round. And here are the eyes, and I'm going to add a little mouth with medium worsted yarn. I just went in and sewed one on and then tied it inside. Okay, slip stitch and just add another round of yellow again. and then slip stitch and add your black, which I already did one row of black, but it has already been shown, so you're just adding another round. So 2 rounds of black, these are the stripes, and then the rest will be yellow with decreased rounds. So this is just single crochet. Okay, make sure you slip stitch, and then I'm going to add yellow, and the remaining part of the bee will be all decreased rounds. So then you're going to work 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. This is a decrease, and then in the next stitch you're going to work a decrease. If this is your first time decreasing, you're going to grab the yarn, go to the next stitch, grab the yarn, then you'll have 3 stitches on your hook, and then you'll yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, single crochet in the next 3 stitches, and then work 2 single crochet, decrease together. This is going to start closing it, and then you just repeat this for the rest of that round. Pull it through. Okay, you're going to slip stitch and then work 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then work 2 single crochet together. That is how you do this round. It's 1, 1, and then 2 together. And you can start stuffing this bee right now if you like. I would start stuffing it soon before it starts closing up. I was a little slow on doing that. Now you can add a little smiley face. I just took medium worsted yarn and a needle, tied it inside. Make sure it's secure inside so it doesn't fall out. You can start stuffing it now, or you could have stuffed it a little bit sooner. It just depends on how tight your end is closing up. So now I'm going to do 1 single crochet and then 2 together. And that's how you can end it. The last 2 rounds you can just do 2 together instead of 1 and then 2 together. As you get really close to the end, you can do it that way. So I did that right when I got towards the end. I'm going to pull through, and then it's complete. You're going to need to take another yarn or crochet hook to weave in your ends. A yarn needle is going to be too small, and then you can bunch it together. So I would just take your loop, keep pulling it through to secure it, and then you can cut it off after you do all that. Just keep pulling it through with your hook. This will and then once it's pulled out, you can just take your scissors and cut it right off. In the magic circle, I'm going to work a slip stitch into it and then work 6 single crochet. This is for the wings of the bee. You will need to make 2, and I'm using the same hook size. So 6 single crochet, and then you're going to pull it closed and then slip stitch, then work 2 half double crochet in each stitch around for a total of 12, and then the wings are complete, and then you will attach them on top of the bee, and I'll show you how to do that in just a moment. Okay, slip stitch and pull through to complete. So take your hook and you're going to place it right in front of the first black stitch and center it right in between the eyes. So one will be on one side by the eyes and then one will be on the other side, so it's centered. Make sure it is centered or it won't look right. Then you're just going to keep pulling those loops in and out with your crochet hook. You won't be able to use a yarn needle. You could if you had a really big one, but it's best just to use a crochet hook and just keep looping it through. So this is what it looks like. It's complete. My daughter really loved it. Now my other daughter wants one. My oldest one wanted it. Now my youngest wants me to make one. So I'm probably going to make her one this week. It turned out really nicely. It's really cute, fun, and it's pretty easy to do. It's kind of messy, but overall we really enjoyed it after it was done. So thank you for watching, and please subscribe.